Muhammad, was he the Muslim prophet or was he someone else entirely? Torpedo 2. Archaeological evidence. Archaeological evidence: coins. Coins are an important window into the past, especially for empires and rulers, because they did not have newspapers or TV, so they used coins to advertise their rulership and things important to them, such as their religion. There are coins from the 7th century AD that have been discovered with the word Muhammad or MHMD on them. In Syria and Palestine, the coins with MHMD have Christian symbols such as crosses and fish. A coin has been found from Jerusalem that has the word Muhammad and a Jewish lampstand. And coins from the former Persian lands have the word Muhammad with symbols of the Persian religion or Zoroastrianism, such as fire altars. So the question is, how could a true Muslim ruler allow the, quote, Prophet Muhammad, unquote, to be associated with symbols that are anathema to Islam? This would be blasphemy. The only logical explanation is that these rulers were not Muslims and that the term Muhammad or MHMD was not the name of the Prophet of Islam. Below we see coins from the time of Muawiyah, who ruled from AD 660 to 680. Below left we have a coin showing the word Muhammad and fishes on them from Galilee. The fish is an obvious Christian symbol. Below right we have a coin showing a man standing with 3 crosses on one side and another cross on the other side, above the letter M, which is the denomination. Below the letter M, we see the word MHMD or Muhammad, shown in the red box. Now the question is, if Muawiyah really was a Muslim, and Muhammad was the name of the Muslim prophet, how could he allow the name of his prophet to be associated with symbols that are considered blasphemy in Islam? The only logical explanation is that Muawiyah was not a Muslim, and MHMD was not the name of the Prophet Muhammad, quote unquote, of the Sin or standard Islamic narrative. Let's look at more coins from the time of Muawiyah. Below left, we have coins with symbols of the Persian religion of Zoroastrianism on them, such as fire altars. Interestingly, the coins also have the word MHMD or MHMT, which is the same word in the Persian spelling. So we have MHMD being associated with Zoroastrian symbols. Below right, we have a coin from Jerusalem, which has the word MHMD and a Jewish lampstand. So we have MHMD with pagan fire altars and MHMD with a Jewish lampstand. True Muslims would consider associating the, quote, Prophet Muhammad, unquote, with these symbols to be blasphemy. Therefore, the conclusion is that whoever minted these coins was not a Muslim. Torpedo 2 scores a direct hit. Archaeological evidence: inscriptions. Archaeologists have found thousands of inscriptions in various languages in Palestine, Jordan, and the Arabian Peninsula dating back to the 1st century AD. The earliest mention of MHMD is in a Himyarite inscription in Yemen in AD 523. It talks about Muhammad and the Lord of the Jews. But the Muhammad of the standard Islamic narrative is not born until AD 570. See next slide for details. In AD 663, there is an inscription that names Muawiyah. It has a cross at the beginning of it, and Muawiyah is called the commander of the believers. So what believers would he be commanding? The Christians. This also suggests that he himself was a Christian. From AD 660 to the 730s, there are inscriptions from ordinary people with no mention of Muhammad or Islam. So if Muhammad is the most important person in Islam after Allah, why do supposedly Muslim people make no mention of him for 60 years? The best explanation is that, like their rulers, the first Arabs were not Muslims and did not follow a prophet from Mecca. This is the Himyarite inscription of 523, the earliest inscription mentioning Muhammad. It's written in the Sabaic or Yemeni script. Below we have the consonantal pronunciation and underneath that the English translation. As we can see at the end of the inscription, we have Lord of the Jews with the Muhammad. Another way to translate Muhammad is praised one. Now this causes major problems for the standard Islamic narrative. A. 523 is 50 years before the Prophet Muhammad was even born. B. Why would the Muslim prophet be associated with the Lord of the Jews? And C. This confirms that the word Muhammad was a title for the praised one and not the name of a Muslim prophet. This is Muawiyah's inscription from AD 663. It's the first inscription that mentions Muawiyah by name and has been dated to AD 663. It is dated using the phrase, quote, year of the Arabs, unquote, and makes no mention of the word Hijra or Muhammad. It's written in a Greek script. Why would a Muslim caliph write an official inscription in Greek rather than Arabic? In the 7th century AD, it was the Christian rulers who wrote in Greek. He's called Abdallah, or servant of God, and he calls himself the commander of the believers. But Muawiyah begins his inscription with a cross. So what believers did he command? The Christians. This inscription confirms what the coins suggest, that Muawiyah was not a Muslim, Muawiyah was a Christian. So when does Muhammad or MHMD appear in inscriptions? In 691, the Dome of the Rock inscription mentions Muhammad is a messenger of Allah. But a closer analysis of this inscription suggests that it is about Jesus, and that the word MHMD is used as an honorific title meaning the desired one or chosen one. This is certainly consistent with Arabic grammar. In AD 693 or 703 AD, an inscription from Aqaba also mentions Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Again, this could well be a title for Jesus. But these are 60 years after the death of Muhammad and during the reign of Abdul Malik. If the standard Islamic narrative is true, then Muhammad is the second most important person in Islam after Allah. So why do supposedly Muslim rulers make no mention of him for 60 years? Just as we have seen with the coins, the best explanation is that the first Arab rulers were not Muslims, but they were Christians, and MHMD was an honorific title for Jesus. So like the coins, the inscriptions make one thing clear. The word Muhammad or MHMD did not refer to the Prophet Muhammad of the standard Islamic narrative. Torpedo 2 scores a direct hit.